From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo. The province-wide lockout against a union representing more than 700 foremen at all British Columbia ports is expected to begin this morning. The BC Maritime Employers Association has said the lockout is meant to facilitate an orderly wind-down of operations in light of what it calls unpredictable strike action. Last week it said the move was being done defensively after it had presented a final offer and after the union for the foremen issued a 72-hour strike notice for job action, also set to start this morning. The union has accused the association of acting recklessly by threatening the industry-wide lockout as an attempt to force the federal government to intervene. India's High Commission in Canada is condemning violence that erupted yesterday outside a Hindu temple in the Toronto suburb of Brampton.
Videos circulating on social media appear to show demonstrators holding banners in support of a separate Sikh country called Khalistan, clashing with others, including some people holding India's national flag. The group Sikhs for Justice says Khalistan supporters were confronted while protesting the presence of Indian consulate officials at the temple. The group accuses Indian officials of using visits to religious sites to find informants to target Sikh separatists. Jason White, The Canadian Press.
Environment Minister Stephen Guilbeault will publish regulations today to force oil and gas producers to slash their greenhouse gas emissions. Under the rules, total emissions from the sector must be about one-third lower by 2032 than they were in 2019. The sector currently contributes 31% of Canada's total emissions, and Guilbeault says the industry hasn't done enough to invest in things to lower them.
Most Canadians, even those that aren't my biggest fans, would agree that it's not okay for a sector to not be doing its share, and that's mostly what this regulation is about.
Alberta's Premier Danielle Smith has promised to fight the cap tooth and nail. She says it'll spell economic disaster for her province. The final hours of the U.S. presidential election campaign have arrived, and over the weekend, the candidates have tried to make the most of it, mostly in battleground states. They'll continue to do so today. Music has lost a legend. The man who made Michael Jackson's music video Thriller, Quincy Jones, has passed away at the age of 91, surrounded by family in his Los Angeles home last night.
In the 1950s, Jones followed his passion working as a trumpeter and conductor for Lionel Hampton's band, and would go on to work with jazz greats, including Sarah Vaughan. In 1978, Q, as he was called by friends, produced the soundtrack for The Wiz. He was also the man behind the all-star charity single, We Are the World. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington, D.C.
This is the Canadian Press. In sports, NHL action on Sunday saw the Edmonton Oilers get a 4-2 win over the host Calgary Flames. The Minnesota Wild scored a 2-1 victory over the visiting Toronto Maple Leafs in overtime, and it was the Winnipeg Jets 7-4 over Tampa Bay. Toronto Blue Jays star outfielder Dalton Varsho was a Gold Glove winner. The 28-year-old, who joined the Blue Jays in 2022, was named the American League's Gold Glove Award winner for center field. In NFL action, Josh Allen threw 3 second-half touchdown passes, and Tyler Bass kicked a career-best 61-yard field goal with 5 seconds left as the Buffalo Bills beat the Miami Dolphins 30-27. Sam Darnold overcame 4 sacks and 3 turnovers by throwing 3 second-half touchdown passes, and the Minnesota defense made Indianapolis quarterback Joe Flacco's return to the starting role a rough one as the Vikings beat the Colts 21-13. From the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.